Exterminate! Exterminate! Come! As you wish. He's no good to me dead. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold. Now I have become the master. I'd much rather see you on my side than scattered into atoms. Hey guys, welcome back to Popular Culture. I'm Cheno, your host. Today, 10 sci-fi villains. Ming the Merciless was the villain in the 1980s movie Flash Gordon. Whoa! Power of the universe. The movie was a British space opera. The movie was a British space opera action film where Ming the Merciless attacks Earth from outer space, leaving Flash Gordon to save the day. Queen did a lot of the music for the movie, and on that soundtrack, Ming the Merciless's theme song was also included. Ming the Merciless has also been the main antagonist in the cartoon series Defenders of Earth. The movie Flash Gordon is amongst one of director Edgar Wright's favourite movies. Max von Sydow, who played Ming the Merciless, also played La San Tarkin, the man who gives Poe Dameron the map to Luke Skywalker at the beginning of Force Awakens. T-1000 is a shape-shifting android from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He's made of Mimitech, polyalloy, and nanobots. In the original ride of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, T-1000 was meant to be just another T-800 like Arnie, so Arnie's going to play both roles and be bad guy and good guy. The T-1000 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day was one of the very first characters to be created using CGI, which is common as dog these days. To help with the metamorphosis effects of the T-1000 in the movie, the very first version ever of Photoshop was actually used to create this. Predator. My wife can do the noise pretty good. I can't. Predator is the main antagonist of the movie with the same name. Schwarzenegger plays Dutch, who leads a team of soldiers of fortune into Guatemala to rescue some politicians. However, is waylaid and hunted by an alien predator. The movie was originally set to be called Hunter and not Predator. Doesn't really have the same impact, and the character just wouldn't be. I don't think it would be as culturally popular as it is. When the movie was first pitched to the studio, it was pitched as Rocky meets Alien. Predator's blood was literally the liquid from cracked open glow sticks. So it's quite easy to make Predator blood if you want to do that though. Glow stick stuff's poisonous. Jean-Claude Van Damme was the original guy in the Predator suit at the beginning of the movie, but later was replaced due to the fact that he whinged too much about how uncomfortable the suit was, so the studio just fired him. Reportedly. The Borg Queen. She is the entity that exists which is the central nexus for the Borg Collective. A hive-minded army of cybernetic zombies with incredibly advanced technology from the Star Trek universe. When they announced having a Borg Queen in the movie First Contact, a lot of fans were quite resistant to the Borg having like a central character that would sort of control them. They wanted it just to be the hive mind. But as it went on, she's pretty popular. The Borg Queen is the only female villain in, main antagonist in the Star Trek films. John Knoll was one of the special effects supervisors on the movie Star Trek First Contact. In the opening sequence battle against the Borg Queen in her Borg cube, he added a Millennium Falcon in the background in the battle. Sneaky sneaky. The Borg Queen has been killed many times, but every time she is killed, instantly another copy of her is booted up and released somewhere else in another place, because the Borg are switched on and they back their shit up. The Alien Queen, the most powerful of all the xenomorphs. If you want to know what a xenomorph is, go and watch Prometheus, although a lot of people don't want to watch that. Every hive has a queen, and she is the mother of all the drones and all the warriors, and she is the only one who lays the eggs. The aliens, her screams of the Alien Queen are actually edited baboon shrieks. The alien queen in the movie Aliens was a giant puppet which took 14 to 16 people to operate. The giant puppet was so big that in the elevator sequence with Ripley, she didn't actually fit into the elevator, thus they had to remove the tail and leave the door open. The biggest egg laid by the Queen in the movie is now on display at the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. Daleks. Daleks are a race of mutant aliens that live inside personalized tanks that are virtually indestructible, can fly, and they love to exterminate. They are one of the primary antagonists, if not the most, of the Doctor from Doctor Who. The Doctor! Skaro is their home. First appeared on Doctor Who in 1963. They were the primary antagonists in the Time War as they fought against the Time Lords for superior domination at the time, destruction of Gallifrey. Davros is the creator of the Daleks, who we have recently found out was partially inadvertently created or helped to be created by the Doctor. Time travel. It will fuck with your mind. Dalek culture is very popular. A lot of people really embrace Daleks, even over liking Doctor Who. In the show The Vicar of Dibley, in the very last episode, there was a wedding in her church, and the bridesmaids wore outfits that made them look like Daleks. Rob Hull has the largest collection of Dalek collectibles on record. His collection is said to consist of over 1,800 Daleks, and funny enough, he's not actually really a Doctor Who fan. Between now and when Star Trek actually happens, there's going to be a eugenics war, which Khan will be a large part of. Between now and when Star Trek actually happens, Khan, a genetically engineered super soldier, will play a big part in. Khan is one of the biggest adversaries to the crew of the Starship Enterprise in Star Trek. Originally in the original Star Trek series, and then later in the movie Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2, and now more recently in Star Trek Into Darkness, the alternate timeline reboot. After losing the eugenics war, he's put into suspended animation. After losing the eugenics war, he's put into suspended animation, and later the Federation finding him, unfreezing him, and letting him unleash hell on everything. Unhell on everything. In the Wrath of Khan movie, Khan's minions were played by exotic dancers the Chippendales in 1982. Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan was originally going to be called The Revenge of Khan. However, due to the Star Wars movie coming out later, in a year or so, The Revenge of the Jedi, they renamed it to The Wrath of Khan instead of The Revenge of Khan. Revenge of the Jedi would then go on to be renamed to Return of the Jedi. So there you go, the two Star Trek characters. I snuck some Star Wars facts in there. The Master. He is the only other reoccurring Time Lord in the Doctor Who TV series, and is to the Doctor what Moriarty is to Sherlock Holmes. The Master has regenerated 7 times throughout the series, and has appeared as lizard-like men, Eric Roberts, and is currently now a woman who goes by the name or the title of Missy. The 1996 TV movie of Doctor Who, they originally wanted to cast Christopher Lloyd as the Master. However, he wanted way too much and they balked at the cost of it, so they went with Eric Roberts, who actually ended up costing them more. In the episode Utopia, where we first get to see the Master in the new rebooted versions of the Doctor, we come across the Master. We don't know it's him yet, but when he touches his fob watch, unleashing his memories, the original actor who played the Master, Del Goldo, his voice can be heard when he opens the fob watch, releasing all his memories back into his mind. John Sims' version of the Master had a laser screwdriver, which is basically like a phaser gun. Boba Fett. Boba Fett is the best bounty hunter in the Star Wars galaxy. It is called Slave One and was originally a police prototype. Boba Fett's concept art, which led to the creation of his look, was originally created for Darth Vader. So Darth Vader was meant to actually look like Boba Fett, although at this point Vader wasn't actually a Sith Lord. He was like a mercenary badass guy. So they later reused that concept art. in Empire Strikes Back, created Boba Fett. 8 different people have helped bring Boba Fett to the Star Wars screen. In the original takes of the movies, 2 different actors were used in the suit to play him, and then an additional actor to voice him, and thus later in the remakes the man who did the voice for Jango Fett did the voice for him. But also, in addition to that, when they were doing the additional scenes for the original trilogy in the special editions, all the special effects guys, when they needed to add Boba Fett into sequences, actually got in the costume themselves and just filmed a few little bits and pieces for him. In addition, there's also the young kid who plays him in the Clone Wars, which I don't really care about. In Maz Kanata's castle, there is a character in the background who can be seen wearing the symbol of Boba Fett's symbol. Hopefully, apparently we're going to get a Boba Fett movie, one way or another. Whether it's back in the past, or somehow he is spat out of the Sarlacc pit and hasn't died, which is what we want. We all want that. Vader. Darth Vader. The Dark Lord of the Sith. David Prowse played Vader in the original trilogy, but did not know that his voice would be later replaced with James Earl Jones. Vader has no father. He was conceived by midichlorians. Vader and C-3PO each hold the record throughout the original 6 movies for each having lost 5 limbs. They tie at this number. Kind of weird and coincidental considering Vader built C-3PO, which is also so weird that he built C-3PO. And it's just weird. On the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., a gargoyle can be seen that looks identical and resembles Darth Vader's helmet. Originally, Vader wasn't meant to continually wear his helmet. It was only going to be used when flying TIE fighters or in outer space as a space helmet, and he would normally wear it, you know, off. But anyway, it's iconic now, and it's partly contributed to the fact that he's the most marketable Star Wars character ever. In the original Star Wars movie, A New Hope, Vader is only seen for 12 minutes throughout the whole movie, although his presence well and truly feels like it's more. The famous line, "Luke, I am your father," was one of the most well-kept secrets in all of Hollywood. In fact, the actor David Prowse actually said when they filmed it, Obi-Wan killed your father. And Mark Hamill's reaction is actually to that line. None of them knew that the movie would then, or the line would then be replaced with James Earl Jones saying, "Luke, I am your father." So at that point, and they didn't know until the actual theatrical release, it was kept really tight. James Earl Jones, George Lucas, and 1 or 2 other people were the only ones that knew. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. My favourite villain is Boba Fett, hands down. Love the guy. In fact, I intend to anyway. So let me know what your favourite sci-fi villain is. Let me know of any sci-fi villains out there that I left out that are also really good bad guys. And if you guys can leave some comments below on what you think, give me some feedback, really would appreciate that. Also, if you like the video, like the video. Also in the links below is our Facebook and Twitter pages. Follow us on those and I'll keep you updated with random pop culture stuff and news and upcoming movies, etc. So if you haven't subscribed, click the big red subscription button. Really appreciate that. And also follow my links to my other videos and let me give them a watch. And if you want to go to the home page of the channel, click on the Pop Ya Culture logo over there. Anyway, until next time, hooroo.